Alright, today I'm going to make some banana bread. And I haven't actually made any types of bread since like 2011. So, yeah, since I was like 16. So we're going to see how this goes. So we're going to need, first of all, a bowl. And we're going to put 1 teaspoon of baking soda in this bowl. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, which I prefer the unbleached kind because that's even better for you. We're going to preheat our oven to 350. And we're going to spray a 9 by 5 inch baking loaf pan with oil. I prefer olive oil because that's better for you than canola or vegetable. Okay, so we got all of our, and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So now that I have all the dry ingredients in here, besides the brown sugar, I'm going to mix this up. And then I'm going to have 3/4 cup of brown sugar and a whole stick of butter, which is 1/2 cup. I'm going to mix this together in there after I'm done mixing this up. So I softened the butter. I let it sit at room temp for about, 35 minutes. Usually about after 30 to 40 it'll soften up, just to make it easier to mix. So we're going to mix the brown sugar and the butter in the mixer. So I started this off on low, and then I went up to medium. And I went up to probably about 6 for the rest of the way. I do have this little guard that goes right here. Totally forgot about it. This is my first time baking with this thing. And also, just to comment on this real quick, this is Vivo Home. So it's one of the top rated besides KitchenAid. But it's not, $449. I think it was like $137 online. I think I got it from Amazon. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, this is great. It's amazing not to have to mix by hand. But if you don't have one, a handheld mixer works also. I would just get like the biggest bowl that you can find, preferably metal or glass. And if you do glass, obviously you're not going to want to turn the handheld up too high, but that's the best option for that. You can also do it by hand. It'll just take forever and probably be a pain to mix. But yeah, so this is what it's going to look like once it's mixed enough. And then we're going to add our mushed banana, which I completely forgot to comment on that. I took 3 overripe bananas and mushed them up in here. So 3 bananas was not enough, so I had to add 3 more. They were a little more overripe than the other ones, but I've heard that the more mushy, the better. So about 6 bananas was 2 1/3 cup, depending on how ripe they are. We are going to mix this until well blended. Then we're going to add the dry ingredients in. Mix this up. I'm going to start off kind of low because of the flour and stuff. I don't want it to come out of the bowl. If you don't have a little guard, or if you don't want to use it, turn it up a little bit. So I'm trying to memorize too many things at once. I was supposed to put my eggs in too. Completely forgot. So now they're in there. And I wanted to add some chocolate chips also because my kids love chocolate chips. And I think, they'd like the bread more if I do that. So I added some semi-sweet chocolate chips in there. And I'm going to stir this up. So I have no idea what size pans are. It doesn't say anything on the bottom. I end up having to get a bigger pan because you're only supposed to fill this up 2/3 of the way. So this is what it looks like before I'm putting it in. Also, another thing I'm going to have to wing is how long to put it in for, because it says just put it in there until you poke a toothpick in the center, and when it comes out clean, it's done. So that's going to be fun. Finally done. So I put it in for 50 minutes at first on 350, and it wasn't done yet. So then I took a piece of aluminum foil and covered it, and it made it, brown like this and helped it cook faster. So it took about an hour total, but here's the result. I'm going to cut it.